So in this tutorial we have a look as to how the pages are laid out, and you will see they're all pretty much done in the same way, so help you with your orientation. So first of all, we are back at the page we used before, and we have a look as to what the different features are around here. To get most of the page, I minimize the table of contents here. Remember, with that button you can get that back again, and let's have a look at the buttons. So the previous button will bring you to the page that's previous in the hierarchy, like in the table of context, and to the next respectively. We've got send feedback button here, and in green you have the title of the page. So POS is for posterior, tells us we're looking at the back here. We've got a look at the acronym process, and the next line tells us where we are in relation to our home page. So from the home page we are in posterior view, scapula, and acronym process. Now we've got three fields that tell us the ideal, what we should see. We tell us what you see, which is the deviation from the ideal, and then what the possible cause of that is as to what muscles or structures are involved that cause that deviation. So let's have a look at that ideal, because we have a picture here. It says the acronym processes are level, so this is what you'd like to see. So you've got the acronym processes, a line across here, they are in the horizontal plane. What you see, however, on your client is that one acronym process is higher or lower on one side. So like in that case we've got the left one higher, and here we've got the left one lower. So let's have a look at the causes for that. So it says here, where the acronym process is higher, the scapula is elevated. You might have short scapula depressors and or long scapula, short scapula elevators and or long scapula depressors. Scapula might be upwardly rotated, and short scapula upward rotators, the spine might be laterally flexed to the opposite side, or short spine lateral flexors to the opposite side, or you might have a shorter leg. Now, if there is no reference to side, it's always describing what's happening on the side that you're looking at. Like if this is scapula is elevated, we're looking at the left shoulder, acronym process is up, means the left scapula is elevated. If it says, however, here the spine is laterally flexed to the opposite side, well, we're looking at the left scapula, the spine is laterally flexed to the right side. Okay, so they would be the options. Now, respectively, you've got information here as to what will happen if the acronym process is lower, like depressed scapula, for example, dominant hand, because if you've got a dominance of one hand, there's often the shoulder that's lower, scapula is downwardly rotated, and so on. Now, if this is enough information, that's cool. If it's not enough information, well, what are those scapula depressors? I don't remember them from school. Well, go over here and says here MUR, which is the muscles regional. Click on that, and it tells you the scapula depressor. So they're the muscles you'll be looking at, either directly depressing the scapula or indirectly, like in the case of pectoralis major or latissimus dorsi, by acting on the humerus. So let's go back to the page where we were and have a look at that again. The other thing we can look at, the scapula is elevated, and it says, if I go with the mouse over, it says condition scapular elevation. So let's click on that. If we go there, well, it tells us we're looking at the condition here. The condition is scapular elevation, ideal. So this gives you an idea as to what you should see, and then in all views what you actually see that deviates from that might be rounded shoulders, or anterior view clavicle is elevated and the angles upward. In the posterior view you might see inferior ankle is higher, medial ball is parallel to the spine, scapula is elevated, and so on. So you got quite a few different postural observations that you can integrate with what you are seeing and doing there. And it gives you, again, a couple of different causes for that, so you can actually track down muscles that might be involved of that, or other conditions like the upper cross syndrome. If you want to have a quick look at that, this is Yanda's description of the upper cross syndrome. So you've got a couple of choices as to where you want to go with evaluation of your treatment. All right, and that's the end of this short tutorial.